Hey everybody, what's up? I am back for the Real Housewives of Atlanta Season 5 Reunion Part 3, the finale. This is the very last review, and we will say goodbye to these ladies for another year until they come back and bore us yet again. So let's just get right into these notes, people. As you can see, I don't have any makeup on. Please do not judge me, okay? Like, it's Sunday night. I don't feel like putting on no damn makeup to do no video about no Real Housewives hoes. And the only reason I'm trying to get this video out on a Sunday night is because I don't want to have to deal with it tomorrow for 422 Real Housewives. Real Housewives. Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Clap, clap. Y'all know that's going to go down. So don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already. And let's just get right into these notes. I'm only going to point out the serious points that I felt like I want to discuss. Everything else, if I didn't discuss it, I didn't fucking feel like it. Okay, so here we go. The witch doctor said that Kandi was going to marry a man who was following her everywhere. And at the time, everybody was like, what the fuck does that mean? Well, come and find out it was Todd, because when they went to Africa, Todd was with Kandi on the crew of Real Housewives of Atlanta, and now he's on the show. So the witch doctor in Africa is real. And if y'all didn't know, he also said that Kim was going to have a baby boy. So y'all better get y'all goddamn life and realize them African witch doctors are that real deal, okay? Don't nobody, Miss Cleo, don't nobody need that. Go to them African witch doctors. Bones, skulls, tattoos, robes. We got you, son. We know your life. We gonna give you your life like that. So then, as they're going over Kenya and Walter's relationship, she's like grooming herself in the fucking mirror and shit, and I'm like, what is this bitch doing? Like, what the fuck is this for? Like, are you seriously gonna act like you're so disinterested in your own made-up storyline, bitch? Are you really gonna do that? I'm gonna go ham on you. So everybody that's a Kenya stan, if you're not ready for this shit, then you might as well click the fuck off the video, okay? Because it's not gonna be nice for Kenya. This whole little rest of this thing is not gonna be nice for your girl Kenya. So get your life ready. So Kenya still denies that she paid Walter to come on the show and be her play man, okay? She still did, absolutely not, okay? She did not do that. That's not what she did. And I kind of feel like, bitch, why you lying to me? Why are you lying to me? Okay, I don't understand. Why are you lying to me? You know that you probably got in cahoots with Walter to come on this show and play your man. Don't nobody on this whole cast believe that that's your real man. Not another, not 9 of the 9 believe that your ass and Walter was really together. And then you confirm that by saying that y'all have never slept together. And then that was never your man. You trying to marry somebody that you ain't never fucked? Is that what you do when you 40-something years old? Get the fuck out of here with that bullshit, Kenya. Who are you trying to convince? Because the rest of the fucking world know that that's some bullshit. You ain't fucked and you trying to marry him? Oh, you were genuine in your feelings about everything that was going on between you and Walter, even though you guys never boned and your ass is 45 years old. Get the fuck out of here, okay? Get the fuck out of here with that one, okay? I don't even believe that for a second, okay? So then Nene is like, I never saw them touch, therefore I don't believe that the relationship was really real, because I never seen them, like, you know what I'm saying, when they was on the plane, I ain't see no type of affection. Flirting with one, what she said, what Kenya said, flirting with someone is not a whore make, said Kenya. And I'm like, it is if the men are married and you already there with a man. Like the action that she was doing, shaking your ass on Peter, flirting and pushing Apollo in the pool, all of that shit, even though Apollo was wrong too, he gonna do what a man gonna do though. He deserved to get checked by his woman. But at the end of the day, like, you was mad disrespectful. No matter what you say, Kenya, you was mad disrespectful for how you did that shit with Apollo, with Peter. Like, you was flirting with people's fucking husbands, and you think that that's gonna be cool? And I think it's so funny that she won't flirt with everybody old man, but she ain't never flirt with like Nene old man. Like, that was my thing. And also, speaking of Nene old man, when they finally did come out there, what the fuck, Greg? You 65 years old. You not supposed to have all black Jerry curl like hair, nigga. You not supposed to have that. Did Nene tell you that shit was hot? Cancel that shit out. You need to go back to the stylist and tell them to take that shit the fuck up out your head. Let me tell you something. 60-something-year-old black man, you don't need no fucking stylist. If you still got hair, all you need is for somebody to cut you and line you the fuck up. You don't need no color. What was that shit? Like, you black. You don't do that shit. What you need color for? You gray and you distinguish with fucking pride like you got some balls in your pants. You don't get hair coloring, nigga. Y'all been in in LA for too long. That's what y'all been doing. Y'all been in LA for too fucking long if you think that shit was copacetic for your old ass to go and get a color, okay? So stop that, Greg. I didn't like that shit at all. I didn't appreciate that. I don't want to see that again. Back to Kenya. Use a motherfucking lie, bitch. You were flirting. That is disrespectful. That does make you somewhat of a hoe, okay? And then the rest of this review is going to furthermore show you as somewhat of a hoe. So excuse the married women if they want to call a single bitch flirting with their husband somewhat a hoe. Anyway, so Kenya says that she doesn't think that her calling Walter gay is the same thing as what Phaedra did to her. Like, she doesn't, like, okay, her saying that he was gay is fucking with someone's character, especially a successful black man in Atlanta who's not already gay. Like, I don't care what anybody says. When a black man is not gay, he does not want to be called gay. It doesn't mean that being gay is a bad thing. It just means that no black man wants to be called gay if he's not fucking gay. Okay? Yes, we a little bit progressive, but we ain't that much fucking progressed. We still feel like, nah, if I don't shake that way, you better not say my name in a motherfucking sentence with gay. Like, for real. So I feel like that shit is very disrespectful. You are going for that man's character, and you are trying to paint him as being gay because he didn't want your old, nasty, blown out of proportion pussy. Yes, the body may be nice, but that does not mean that the lower region of her body is as tight as y'all may think it is, okay? So let's just get that shit out there, by the way. I just want to say that. And let me tell you something. Her sitting up there talking about Phaedra saying she was crazy and an alcoholic, and you sitting up there talking about that's not the same thing. You were going for the white meat when you fucked with Walter. That's some white meat. And then you even, like, you do go to the white meat, Kenya. You delusional as fuck. It's really aggravating for you to think that you don't do anything wrong when you go at people. Like, if you, I mean, at least be like Nene and be like, yeah, I said it. Okay? Nene really don't try to make, she played a victim, but not as hard as Kenya plays the victim. Kenya act like she ain't never said shit wrong, okay? Like, get the fuck out of here with that. Them two hoes have that in common. So Nene, you may be a little bit delusional if you think that the shade you throw is not shady enough to result in somebody being shady to your ass, okay? I'ma just say that right now. Kenya said, then I told y'all that Kenya said she never slept with Walter, which I feel like, then why are we trying to marry somebody we've never slept with? And Candy was like, bitch, you ain't never tried it out, but you was trying to marry him? Like, what's up with that shit? And I'm like, exactly, ain't nobody at the age for that shit. But Candy also said that she felt like it was bullshit for Kenya to keep saying that Walter was gay because she knew Walter and she had never heard that he was gay. So that was totally out of line for her to say that. So then they ask Kenya about who she's dating, and she gets all emotional and says that right now she's really happy, so she doesn't want to jinx it by talking about it on the Real Housewives of Atlanta. But y'all just stay tuned to next season, and that man will be all up in that set. Oh yes, because I've already got on the show, so there's no more need for fake storylines. I'm just saying. Oh my god. Then the men come out, okay? Yes, I'm a little warm, so I'm about to use this Kenya fan, okay? This is not for theatrics, bitch. It's a little bit warm up in here, okay? For real, though. I'm sorry, y'all. The camera's moving around. I gotta push y'all back a little bit, okay? All right. So, the men come out. And Cordell is a no-show, but we already knew that shit. And she says that he had to work. And the fuck he had to work? Bitch, this is Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. This is work. What the fuck? Like, he was gonna receive a check. He should have been there. But we know because there are, you know, the pending divorce shit is the reason why he probably wasn't there. Even though Portia was going so hard for their little marriage, talking about Cordell is not perfect in the least, but I love him. And we're together. And we made vows in front of everybody on our wedding day. And I said I was gonna be down for whatever and be a housewife and be his Barbie doll and take his bullshit and act like I like his big ass forehead. Like, that's what I was supposed to do as his wife. And I know that y'all may not understand that, but that's what our situation is. So right now we are going through the hard times of a marriage, but we gonna get through them, goddammit. Caption, they get divorced. Like, that's so sad. Oh my god, I feel bad for her. But anyway, Todd doesn't even, he basically, like, we all know Todd never really wanted to be on the show, but the reason why he's there is because he wanted to support his boo. He wanted to support Candy. And they asked them about, like, you know, what Marlo said last season about him, you know, basically being taken care of by Candy. We all know that's bullshit. Just because a woman got money and her man may not be making as much money as her does not mean that she's taking care of him. That just means that it's more likely that she can foot the bill sometimes, or that they can really split it. But that don't mean that it is always going down like that. Like, what works for some people may not work for most. And if I was like Marlo and didn't have any real talents besides getting money out of people, well, I would feel the same way, because I feel like the only thing I can do is trick old men into giving me their fucking money. I can't sing, I can't write music, so you know, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? Yeah, that was some shade to Marlo, because I feel like I can't stand a bitch that get her life based off of what somebody else do, but then you gonna turn around and throw shade at a bitch like Candy that work her ass off for her millions. I don't like that. Like, at least show respect where respect is due, and you should definitely show respect at Candy for her money making skills. Like, get the fuck out of here with that shit. Anyway, so Peter says he feels that Walter, you know, should have been on the show, because it is very disrespectful for her to be on the show, you know, talking about him being gay and all of that. But first he was saying that Walter should have been there, but Walter was on the show only to promote his business. He feels as if they were not really in a relationship. Nobody really believes that. And Andy took a second poll around the room to see if anybody believed that they were really together, and not one hand was raised. So Kenya, I'm gonna need for you to just come into, you know, understand that, you know, get out of denial and understand that nobody believes that you and this nigga were really in, you know, really in love or really about to get married. Like, nobody believes that. Hang it up. Stop it. Nobody believes it. Stop it. Anyway. And then Kenya tried to throw Phaedra in it, saying that she heard that from a very reliable source that Walter was being represented by Phaedra. Phaedra was like, bitch, I was in Alabama in a class in school. Ain't nobody worrying about you nor Walter. Just because my husband is friends with him does not mean that I'm going to be representing him. Ain't nobody representing no goddamn Walter. Don't be trying to throw me in that mix. Like, and I kind of feel the same way. Kenya, shut your stupid ass up, always trying to throw somebody else in the mix when they ain't got nothing to do with them. So then, you know, they get on how Walter was just trying to defend himself on that radio interview he did, because Kenya was going around saying that he was gay. And Apollo and Peter were really getting in Kenya's ass for, you know, saying that. And she gets up and starts to twirl and calls Peter calls Walter a groupie. And Peter says, sit your ass down, but you still wanted to fuck with him. You wanted to marry him. You was running after this man all season, but now you're gonna sit up there and talk about this man as a groupie and that he's gay, but you wanted to marry him though. Like, they was getting in on that ass, and I can't say I was mad. I feel like the Oscar for best, you know, queen of the fucking reunion for this last one had to be Peter. Peter was giving me fucking life. Peter and Apollo both say, you know, how they felt like Kenya, they don't like Kenya. Kenya is full of shits. And then, you know, once again, Kenya starts to sing one, you know, Gone with the Wind Fabulous. And Peter once again tells her to sit her ass down. And whenever somebody gives her that reel, all she gonna do is start fucking twirling, because she don't know how to handle that reel, because she's a bitch in what? Denial. Anyway, Africa. Apollo says that he doesn't care much for Kenya, and then she says, then you should stop texting me then. She thought she was dropping a bomb, but Phaedra already knew about that shit and said, yeah, bitch, I knew about those texts. He showed them to me. And you was the one texting him talking about you could do what his wife won't do. Oh. You're going far, and that's why Phaedra called her a whore, and that's why you can't turn a whore into a housewife, because y'all remember Kenya got all in her feelings by Phaedra saying that, but bitch, I'm gonna call you a hoe because you coming at my husband. That makes you a whore. Like, that makes you a hoe. I'm sorry. If you didn't know, flirting with somebody's husband is a fucking whore trait. That's a hoe trait. Anyway, I still don't understand how she don't feel like that's to the white meat. But then she even turns and, like, you know, Apollo stands up and says that, bitch, if I would have pressed you, I would have got that pussy. You was all on me. I didn't want you. That's why I showed the text to my wife. But then when she turns around and says that he was a convicted felon and that's why Phaedra need to get an AIDS test, I was like, damn, you don't think that's a bit much? She pregnant, so she's probably been tested for that already. But my point is still, like, you don't think that's a bit much, Kenya? You don't think that was too much to say that she needs an AIDS test just because her husband went to federal prison? Really? For a blue-collar crime? Really? Like, come on now. Like, that was too far to me. Kenya, that was way too far. And if anything, the way you was shaking your ass on Peter's dick when y'all was in Anguilla, that shows me that you need to get tested for syphilis, herpes, gonorrhea, HIV, and anything else that somebody could get from rubbing up against a nasty bitch. That's how I feel. I don't like how she did that. I feel like that was very disrespectful, and you kind of going far. She been going far this whole episode, even when she physically threatened Phaedra. Like, I don't fucking like Kenya, as y'all can tell, and it's only because of the things that she does. If she would act half as nice as she pretends that she is, then I would really be for her, but I'm not for her. And so then we get to Portia. Portia feels like the women were trying to bring her down. She feels like this being her first season, she felt as if things were much harder for her than they would have been for the other ladies, because they were going at her about, you know, her not wanting to go to the strip club. And Nene was just like, I wanted you to make that decision based on what you wanted, not on what Cordell wanted. And then Portia goes into a long ass rant where she's going off about issues between her and him and her and the ladies, because she's like, I admired you, Cynthia, and I admire you, Nene, and even you, Ken, y'all don't like your ass, but I admired you for having your own business. I want my children to have a mother that they know when mommy goes to work, she's gonna be back that night to help them with their homework and fix her husband's meals. I can do it all, okay? I want everybody to know that yes, my life may be perfect. My husband buys me gifts all the time, and he always showers me with that, and he loves me, but at the same time, I can have more, and I want more. I want some self-gratification. I want to know that I'm doing something to contribute to our family, so that whenever you decide that your monkey ass want to leave me for a white woman, you can't just get up and take all the motherfucking money. That's basically what she said when she had went off. And Cynthia says that, you know, you need to get over it as far as you feeling like you were being down. Nobody was downing you. And Nene was like, bitch, did you really feel like this group of women were going to lift you up? Like, that's not what you going to get from here. The only time you going to get a good word from these hoes is when somebody is in the ground and we all wearing black and we show up with flowers and like, bitch, I'm sorry. Because death is the only thing that's definite, and we definitely going to feel sorry for a bitch who lose somebody. But fuck your marriage. And I feel like that's messed up, because out of all the women, you should know what it's like to lose a marriage or to be going through marital issues. That can be harder than losing somebody like death-wise sometimes. Just because you know, you kind of come to terms with death more, you know, easily than a relationship that can or cannot be, because both people are still, you know, there. I'm just saying, like, I just kind of feel like, if, you know, people, I feel like Portia being naive wanted more from the women than they were ever going to give her. And I feel sorry for her, but I also feel as if it would not be hard for those women to be supportive. And Nene, I feel like you especially, like, is that what you want? Like, y'all want to be like that, where this young girl going through these issues that y'all can relate to and y'all can't lift her up? Y'all can't lift her up? What kind of shit is that? I understand everybody like they mess, everybody like they bullshit, everybody like they little cat fights, but at the same time, I would much more rather a group of women that could put their shit aside and be there for one another, rather than y'all always ragging on each other and on the low really can't fucking stand each other, hate each other type shit. I don't want to fucking see that. So I feel like Nene and anybody else that felt like that was a true representation of them women, that y'all need to go ahead and change that shit. Anybody else on that stage, y'all need to change that shit. I don't want to see that shit. Anyway, Candy apologizes to Portia for speaking on her marriage, because she feels like people should never speak on other people's marriages because you don't really know what's going on between them. So she apologizes to Portia for that. And Peter says that he has a bone to pick with Cordell, because Cordell should have had his ass on that stage standing right behind his wife to support her. And then Portia gets up and sings. And she is a little shaky and untrained, and it's not really that strong, but she got a little something. She can sing better than fucking Kenya Snaps and Fans, bitch. She can sing better than Kim. No synthesizers on this bitch. No toddy fun party. Like, she can sing better than them hoes. And then it just wasn't that bad. It wasn't good, but it wasn't that bad. It's definitely something that Candy can turn into a solid voice. I'm just telling y'all, a lot of people have shaky voices, but they have like a core really good sound. And I feel like if somebody were to train Portia could get a good sound. I feel like that. She sounded like she had a little something in there a little bit. Something that could, you know, be brought out. I'm just going off my personal experience with vocal trainers and the shit that they can do to people. I'm just saying. They start talking about if they feel like anybody should be replaced. Do we need a new woman on the show? And everybody says that they feel as if they need a new castmate, but they also feel as if, Nene feels like somebody has to go, but she didn't say who. She said Andy was going to have to meet her in his office. And I kind of feel like they don't need to get rid of anybody. They can add whoever they want to, but I feel like Kenya brings bullshit, and that's cool, but next season they need to bring somebody that's going to bring even more bullshit, so we can have like a conundrum of different bullshits. And I can deal with that, because I feel like that'll be more entertaining than this fuck shit they got us with right now. I kind of feel like I don't want Portia to go, because I feel like now that Portia is divorced and gonna be trying to get on her own 2 feet, that's a better storyline than she even came on the show with. Kenya, I feel like is gonna like be an actress and find any opportunity to bring drama, so she should stay. Candy has a lot going on, and I feel like, you know, even though her personal life may not be that entertaining, I still feel as if her commentary brings something to the show. Like, she's kind of, I feel like, the person where you be like, she reacts the best in the situation compared to everybody else. And I'm just, in comparison, I'm just saying. Phaedra, I feel like, always brings shade, so I feel like she should stay as well. Like, none of the ladies really brought boredom to me except for Nene, really. I felt like Nene's storyline was boring this season, but I feel like Cynthia even brings something better because she brings Peter with her. And we all know that Peter is a fucking entertainer for that ass. So anyway, you guys, that was my Real Housewives of Atlanta review. I hope you all enjoyed it. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. I love you all very, very much, and I will see you tomorrow on Monday for Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. I hope y'all ready, because I will be bringing my most ignorant self to make y'all laugh and giggle for that one. So I love you, and I'll see you in the next video.